Morning. It's Saturday, November 18th, and what I have to say this morning is very disturbing. And it deals with the former President Donald J. Trump, because he's planning to run, and he's made his agenda public. He's got a cadre of people already lining up and willing to work with him, willing to put their lives on the line for this insanity that I'm about to tell you about. So what are we going to do? If this happens, this country will be a shithouse. The ideas that Donald Trump is promoting openly now tells you the state of this country, that we would have something like 35 or 40% of the population ready to vote for this man. A criminal, a man who's done everything short of murder and has readily stated that if he shot somebody on Fifth Avenue, nothing would happen to him. And we are prepared in many parts of this country to accept this person as a candidate for the president and hoping that he wins the election again? That's insanity. But looking around at what's going on in this country, I can understand it. And that's a shanda. Donald Trump is not a shy person. We all know that. And he's prepared to tell us how he intends to wield his executive power if re-elected. And I'm sure that his cadre is anxious to hear all of this bullshit. He is prepared to do things in unprecedented ways. I'm not sure in what order he is going to do the things that he's proposing. And I'm not sure he can get lots and lots of people to work with him closely on this. And I am not sure that the people who even sign up to work for him on these things will last very long. Because these things that he mentions are just terrible. And they're on the edge of pure dictatorship. This is like having Hitler in charge, or maybe Mussolini or somebody like that. Or Ivan the Terrible. How about that? So what he wants to do, he's going to have a massive operation to detain and deport undocumented immigrants. Now that's a good idea, I guess, to get rid of people who really have violated the law in some way, shape, or form. But that's going to take huge amounts of manpower to do. And is he prepared? Does he have the savvy to figure this out? Is he going to get enough qualified people to work with him on these projects? I don't think so. The people that are going to work with these projects are not necessarily experts in what has to be done. So that's the first thing. He's going to concentrate on the immigration problem. And then, here's a beautiful idea. Can you imagine this one? He's going to purge all of the federal workforce who is deemed to be disloyal. So he's going to fire people who may have different opinions from his. Is that what we want? This is a nation of people who have ideas. And one must accept those ideas. Whether you like them or not, they should be heard. Because nobody, I don't care who you are, knows everything and can solve all the problems the way you want them solved. There are many people who are experts in many of the things that have to be done in government, and I can tell you one thing for sure. Donald Trump is not an expert in any of those things. Donald Trump has run a real estate empire. That's not even a real business when it comes right down to it. He hasn't worked with people who he has employed hundreds of thousands of people who are working in factories and things like that. That is not his area of expertise. His area of expertise is throwing around pure bullshit and then lying about it 5 minutes later. And then he intends to wield the power of federal law enforcement against political enemies. So who's a political enemy? All the Democrats? Could they all be considered political enemies? Is somebody who's on the street corner has a different opinion than him? Is he or she a political enemy? Are we going to purge all of the professors in university who state different disciplines, different opinions than he is? It's crazy that a man like this is going to attempt to run for president again, and that he has a following. Maybe if I was stupid and I was listening and I heard all of this stuff, even though I might be leaning toward him, I might have to think twice about all of this stuff. No sane person could agree to all of these things. So President Trump and his allies, as he is seeking a return to the office, have promised a sweeping change of the federal government that would help the executive branch's power in radical and unprecedented ways. And in plain English, that means he wants to establish a dictatorship. One person in charge. One person does everything. No three equal parts. What is he going to do with Congress? What is he going to do with the Supreme Court? Those things are not in his thinking. He wants to be a dictator. I'm not sure, but I am willing to bet that Hitler is one of his great heroes. Maybe Maximilian. Maybe some of those old kings are his heroes. And the agenda they are crafting would put into practice Trump's hardline views that he has publicly expressed in his last campaign for president. And we can bet our bottom dollar that all of these views will certainly face a series of legal and political challenges. But if he gets his dictatorship in place, do you think that they're going to allow these legal and political challenges? No way. No way. So for any of you who believe that this man should be president again, think hard before you vote, boy. Because what he is spouting is pure fascism, pure racism, pure totalitarianism in its purest form. So watch out. Don't get caught up in this thing. Remember the four freedoms. Remember, this is a nation of individuals. And none of us has to think the same way as long as we can compromise. And his totalitarian outlook doesn't leave any room for compromise. So I leave you with that. The challenge of Donald Trump possibly running again. Have a great day. Bye.